Good morning, students. Hopefully you watched the other video that I uploaded with this assignment first, and I wanted to touch on on a few things that they talked about. So this is linear algebra, right? One of the first things that we notice is in the word linear is the word line, right? So this is like line algebra. Okay, so one of the first things that they talk about is the slope. I guess a synonym for slope could be like inclination, or let's say incline or decline. Decline, right? So incline would be going up and a decline would be coming down. Okay, so just to touch on a few things, they said the slope is the change in y over the change in x. It could be written like this. This is the Greek letter delta, and delta means difference, okay? Alrighty, so a few things. If a line is going up, that's considered a positive slope. If a line is coming down, that's considered a negative slope. Okay, so if you see a line going up, your answer is supposed to be positive. If it's coming down, it should be negative. Okay, and then the other thing is if it's a big number, maybe anything bigger than 1, it's going to look pretty steep, either steep up or steep down. Okay, and if it's a small number, then it's the opposite. Small number, see? Then it'll be going up gradually, right? Or slowly. Okay, so this would be anything less than 1. Okay, alrighty. And then he would in the video they were talking about how to find this slope from a graph. So let me just show you a trick that helps me. This is the coordinate grid. This is where the y's live, and this is where the x is on this line. It's called the x-axis, y-axis. So like up here, this is where 5 is at. On the y-axis, here, everything is 0, right? Both x and y are 0. That point right there is called the origin. Origin. Cool? So on the y, then down here, these are the negative numbers. Like -5. On the x's, these are the positive numbers to the right. This is like +5. And then on this side would be like where -5 would be. Okay, so positive y's, negative y's, positive x's, negative x's. Okay, and just so I don't make a mistake, I'm gonna go ahead and label them. And this will be over here negative x, and this will be negative y. So imagine that I have a point here, and I'm gonna go to here. Okay, so this is my line. Okay, so before I even get started, I know this is supposed to be positive. How do I know that? From up here. We said any incline that's going up is positive. So I know that my answer should already be positive. Positive something, right? And then let me put some numbers here just to kind of help us out a little bit. I'm going to call this 1, and I'll call this one 2 there. Okay, so if you notice, on this one, we're going up and we're going to the right, no? So we would count that like this. So, I don't know, let's say that this one's 4, -4. So to go up from -4 to 1, I would move up 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. I know it's hard to see, right? But I would move up 3 spaces. So the change in y is going to be 3. Okay? And because I'm moving up, right? We went up in this direction. The change in y is going to be positive. And then once I'm here, let's say that this is -4. I'm going to go right to this point here. So watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So between the number -4 and 2, the change would be 6, right? 4 to get back to 0, and then an additional 2 to make it to 2. So this change in x over here is gonna be 6. And because the x, I'm moving to the right in the direction of the positive x, this one's gonna be positive. Well, they were both positive, right? And so the last thing is to write them together. The slope is the change in y over the change in x. And the change in y we said was 3. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a positive 3, and the change in x is a 6. So there's your slope. Okay, so 3 over 6. But like anything on our test, we're supposed to simplify and put in lowest terms. So we can reduce this fraction by dividing both of them by 3. So this will be 1/2, and it'll be positive. So that's your slope here. Okay, so these positive symbols and these negative symbols, they help me know whether it should be positive or negative, the change, right? I can count the spaces, but then whether it's going in the direction of the positive y, that tells me positive, or down, if we're going down, that tells me that change in y would be negative. Okay, what else? I think we're good, except the only other thing is that when we're doing this, we always want to start from left to right. Okay, so like here, we started here and we ended up here. If you do it backwards, you can get a double negative where you have a negative on top and a negative on the bottom. And then if you forget to fix that, because it's like a negative divided by negative should be a positive. So it gets to be weird and complicated, okay? So we always want to go from left to right.